Good morning to all. Close the door. Okay. So yesterday we have seen like how to work with content projection. It is something like what? NG, if then, else block, right? Have you practiced? Yes, sir. If not, definitely you will come to my next batch. For that batch also, I'll take salary. Don't worry. Because for is most used one and very important to know. Switch is like, it is not
Easy.
okay. So we have to work with ng if, and ng if will work with only a simple condition that even like if one condition is going to be true, that means ng if it will true, then it will add that UI to the HTML. Otherwise, it won't add. And we have the second one, and the second one is going to be what I can. And the second one is going to be what we are having, ng if then else. That means if you can have like the multiple conditional statement. Suppose if it is true, I wanted to execute one, and if it is going to be false, I'm going to execute a different template. Then at that time, ng if then else can be given. Now, what is mean by content projection? Content projection is something like based on the requirement, if you can render the UI, then that is what we call it as a content projection. And in that particular case, to create the template, we use what? Which class we used yesterday? Template ref is the class. And to render that into the UI or to render that into the HTML, we use the decorator. That is what we call it as a view child we have used, right? Yesterday, that is what we have learned all about. You see, we have the content projection. What is content projection? It is the process of creating the templates explicitly and rendering into the UI. UI is nothing but the view page or else the HTML. Some people may call it as template and some people may call it as UI also. And all the templates are going to be created with the help of what? Template ref. And to render the template into the UI, we use a decorator that is going to be view child. How to create it? I am using @view child public, and whatever the name of the template you wanted to give, you can give, and the template reference is going to be any that what I can give. Shrikant, why you have given any means? You can create any type of template. It doesn't matter at all. You can create any. So if you are not giving anything also, by default that is any only. And how we can render? For the rendering purpose, I used what? NG template. Why I use the NG template means NG template will not create any kind of object after rendering into the UI. Suppose in place of NG template, if I take the div, then also will get the same output. If I take a paragraph, then also will get the same output. If I take some H1, H2 tag, then also we have the same output. But NG template, which will give you one option that once if it is render into the UI, it won't create any kind of object for this particular one. These are what we call it as a dynamic templates or dynamic markups that we are having, and it supports only in the Angular. It is not supported in the HTML. In HTML, if you can use by default that NG template, then it won't understand anything. NG template, that is where NG stands for Angular. And to render that into the UI, you may write something like that. Div NG if is equal to, you can write the condition. Condition means it's a true or false value. If that is true, then which block you want to display, else what block you wanted to give, that you can give it over there. So we have seen an example on this particular one. Okay. We have seen different examples. I mean, different example on this one. But about the view child, again, I'll take a session. Don't worry. Because view child and view children, @input and @output and event emitter, all these are comes under that event binding and the data sharing techniques. Right now, if you can observe that we created a single component, and whatever the data we have it in the component, we are sharing it to the corresponding HTML. Am I right? Yeah. But going forward, we will see an example that I have data in one component, that data will be shared to another component as well. That examples are very important, and there I can take a session on again how we can work with view child at that particular place and what is the difference and all. We will understand very soon. Don't need to worry. Now, as the part of the directives section, how many directives are supported in Angular? 3 directives. What are those? Don't open the books. What are those? Component directive, structural directive. Third one is what? Behavioral directive. Now, component directives are nothing but the component which will renders the HTML or which will return the HTML, and structural directive which is used to add or remove the HTML. And after that, we have the behavior directive which are used for what purpose? Styling purpose. Very good. If you wanted to add the styles dynamically, there you can go with the behavioral directives that are available. Like that we have seen. Now coming to the structural, what directives we are having predefined? NG if is available. After that, NG if then else is available. After that, NG switch is available. And the fourth one is NG for is available. Now, what is NG switch? It is used to add multiple options multiple options in selection of UI, multiple options in selection of UI, and among that, among that, based on the option, we will render, we will render a particular UI or else a particular HTML to the user interface, I can say. That means NG switch will provide you different options to you, and among that, user can select any option dynamically, and based on the selecting option, that related HTML is going to be rendered on the UI. That is nothing but your template page. And as it exactly similar to the switch case that what you people have learned. I hope you know about switch case in your programming, right? Either Java or C#, .NET, even simple C language also we have the switch case. Same way here also it is, but here the usage is different. Now how it is different? It is different because it is render the UI. I'll provide you different UIs to you, or else user interfaces, or else HTML markups to you. Based on your selection, you can select that appropriate one and you can render. That is how it is going to be. That is what exactly that NG switch. Now, how I can use it? The syntax is quite simple. I'll be writing the syntax something like this. Now, the syntax is going to be, we are going to have a div or any tag you can take, guys. It doesn't matter that, like, you know, Srikant, why you have taken always div means because div is basically a non-informational element. If you can take H1, that is informational element, right? What is the purpose of H1? If you want to display the main heading of the page, that is what an information. If you can take paragraph, that is that information. But for the div and the span, these two are the two elements which are non-informational element. If I write anything into the div, do we have that is an information? Generally, that is used to divide the page into different blocks. Div means divisions. Understand? Div means what? Division. If you want to divide the web page into different division, there I can go with what? This particular one. Now, what I want to do, I'm going to write here ng switch is equal to, here you can provide the argument. Here you can provide what? The argument. Now, what I can do, I'm going to use another div here, and here you can provide the cases. Ng switch case, that what I can give is equal to, suppose if it is going to be case 1, then here you can write the elements, whatever that elements you people have written here, that will be rendered. That is case 1. Like that, Srikant, how many cases I can write? How many you can write? Tell me. N number. That is case 1, or else I can go with the case 2. Like that, you can have N number. And don't ask me, Srikant, is it supported? Go to, break, continue? No. Because it is just a UI. Okay. Don't expect, like, you know, the way how we are having go to statement and break statement. I hope you know that, right? Break statements, you know it or not? In Java.NET we have go to is also available, and the same way we have continue is also there. We have like that 3 different statements are available. Don't expect here. But in the switch case, if all the conditionals, or else like if all that arguments are not matched with the cases, then we will be having another one. What it is? What it is? Very good. Correct only. What it is? Default is available. So the same way here we have the default also, so that I can give a default case also. How I can write the default case? For that one, what I can do is I am going to use another directive over here. That is what we call it as ng switch default, that what I can give. That means here we have that argument, and this argument is having what? Cases. Case 1, case 2, case 3, like that any number of cases that you can define. But if all the cases are not going to be matched, then what will happen? It will go to the default case and execute that particular one. This is how the syntax is going to be, but at a time it will execute only one. It won't execute multiple. At a time it will execute only one, not the multiple. We don't have any other option to execute multiple over there. Okay, I remove the permissions. Just give me 1 minute. Right. So that is how it is. Now we have written the syntax over here. I disabled everything. Don't worry now. Right. So this is how it is. Now I'm going to show you an example, and to do that one before it, yesterday it was not worked, but I'll try today. Otherwise, I'll spend some time on this, like why it is not working. Let me go to that app. I'll right click and then open with that integrated terminal. Okay, it is opened here. I'm using the command prompt and clear the screen. I wanted to create a component here, ng, G for generate and C for the component, and the name of the component is going to be, let's say, product component, that what I am going to create. And if you don't want to allow the test cases, hyphen test you can give, then automatically it get removed. I'll clear the screen. Okay, this is how it is. Now I'll do the basic steps over here. The basic steps are nothing but what? I'll make this particular component as going to be my startup, so that I'll go to my component. We have the product component and go to the TS file, and we have what? A selector which is available. Let me copy that and then give it in the index.html. That is the first one. And the second one is going to be, I'll go to my, tell me, app module.ts, and what component we are having, will make that as going to be bootstrap and save it. And then I'll run my application. How do I run? ng, yes, I can give. And then the project name is going to be directives demo, that what I can give, so that automatically it get executes. Now you see Angular development is working on this particular one, and the product is going to be worked over here. Now what I want to do is, what I just want to do is, yesterday I have given some assignment. How many guys have completed it? How many of you guys have done? At least try. How many of you have tried? Only few. Why? Okay, one more interesting question. How many guys have remembered that we have an assignment. Thank God. Okay, that's good thing only. Okay. Sir, select list in the 3 buttons like different styles of thumbnail. Click view one. Yes. Okay. Leave about it. I will show you now with this example. NGs which I will take, I'll show you that example. But you have to complete it in the NG, if then else only, that is in the content projection. Okay, na? Right. So for this one, what I want to do is, right, I have the HTML something like this. And here what I can do is, I'll be taking a div which contains the class as going to be container or container fluid, anything you can use. That's your wish. I'll take the container. And after that, I'll take a div and I'm using the class as going to be row and margin top as going to be 4 I can give. I'll take another div here and where I can give the first column as going to be 2. And I'm providing like, few buttons, some list of button. When users select that particular button, I wanted to render that particular HTML on my page. That is my requirement. Okay. Did you understand? That means I'll provide some list of button because yesterday I asked you to go with some drop down, I guess, right? Drop down, I guess, but I'll provide you the list of button. Maybe I'll add the drop down also. It's not a big deal. I'll be creating the button and this button is having the class. Before that, I'll be having the buttons so that a div I'll take and here btn hyphen group hyphen vertical, that what I can give vertical. I'm going to have like, the vertical buttons. The look is going to be something like this. Bootstrap vertical buttons. The look and feel is going to be something like this. Button group large. Yeah, this one. Okay, you see there, Bootstrap also support vertical button group, and to work with that, what class has to be given? btn group hyphen vertical as the name. Now I am using, you see, btn group hyphen vertical as the one. Whenever if you are not understanding any classes, just you can search that class in the W3 schools so that you will get some understanding. Okay, what is the purpose of the class? Because like every class I can't explain. As I told you, I only remember like few. Sometimes like, I used a few classes. I don't know what is the purpose of it also. Definitely. Because Bootstrap, it's not my job. That is it. Just please have a look into it whenever if you are not understanding any Bootstrap classes. Now what I can do, I'll be having this one. Let me have a button and the button is having, let's say, btn is the one that what I wanted to give. And after that, let's give btn hyphen primary, that what I can give. And after that, the width is going to be somewhere around 100 I can give. And after that, border is going to be, let's give something like 2. Yeah, this is the one. I'm going to create around like, 3 buttons so that into 3 I can give. Then it will create like, 3 buttons for me. This is the first button and we have the second button that is available. And then following with the third, following with what? The third button that what I am having. 3 buttons I have created. Now in the 3 buttons, what I can do is I am going to write something like, for the first button, okay, for the first button, I'll be using something like basic details. Let's say basic details I can give. And at the same time, we have the second button. And in the second button, let me give something like a preview. And after that, I have the third button. And in the third button, let's give some description or something. Let's have the offers or something. Total how many? 3 buttons that what I am having. And each button is having something like this. Now, based on the selection of the button, I wanted to render the corresponding UI. Yesterday, okay, I'll do one thing. Just give me one more minute. Let's have another div where I can give margin top as 4. And here I'll be taking the select, and in the select what I can do, I'll provide different options. Before that, I am giving, let's say, form hyphen select I can give. This is form select I can give, and we'll provide the options here. The first value is going to be, let's say, details I can give, and the name is going to be basic details. And the second option is going to be, what is the second option we are having? I'm sorry. So the second option is going to be, we have the preview is available, so that I can give preview over here. And in place of that, let's go with the preview. And we have the third option, that is going to be offers, that what I can give. And here also, let me give the offers over there. That's it. These are the three values that what I have given. Now you can observe the UI, how it would be. If I'll be going here, now you see basic detail, preview, offers, and you see preview is available, offers. Yesterday I asked you to prepare like only the drop down, but I'm having the both. Now the requirement is, whenever if user selected some value from here, how I can share it to my component? What kind of data binding technique is required here? What kind of data binding technique? NG? Very good, correct only. NG model. Okay, very good. That means the answer is what? Yeah, MVVM also we can use, or else MVC. Try to have it here to go with that, because MVVM is the least priority in the practical environment. So that is the reason where what I can do, I am going to use NG model is equal to, okay, NG model is equal to, now what I want to do is, I just wanted to give some name over here, that is the view name. So that let's say public, I am writing view name, which is of type of string, and I am going to initialize with some empty value right now at this moment. Otherwise, we can give some value also later, and I am giving it over there. Now you see, I am giving ng model equal to view name. Whenever user has selected some option, then that will come to this variable, and that variable I can use it over here. In the same way, I have the button, and the button is also having some value, basic detail, preview, and offer. Now I wanted to get that particular one. So how I can get it? How I can get this? When user click on button, I wanted to share something to my component, then how I can do that one? How I can do that? Tell me. Very good. Correct only, but that is what all about event binding. So that what I can do, when user click on it, then I'm going to write some functionality, and that functionality what it will do, which contains different values it will take, and based on that it will render the UI. That is our requirement. So that what I can do, whenever if user click on it, now what I can do is, I'm going to write a simple method over here, and the method is going to be view click. I don't have that method here, so that what I can do, I'll be creating it. Public view click, and here I am going to write something like view name, which is of type string, that what I can say, and save it, and then come back here. So the first value is going to be what? Detail, and second value is going to be what? Preview that we are having, and third value is going to be offers, because both are I have taken for the same purpose, so that I'm going to maintain the same value over here. Understood? Clear na? Up to here, any doubts? Tell me. Clear? Now, what I can do here is, you see here, let's come back to the code. Now I'm going to show you a simple console, or else let's say I'm going to use that alert, and then I'm using view name and save it. Now you see, when user select anything, basic detail or preview, we haven't write anything, but when user click on basic detail, am I able to share the details or not? And when user click on preview here, I'm able to share the preview. When user click on offers here, I'm able to share the offers over there. Now, based on that particular value, we will be assigning it to the view page. That is how it is going to be. So that what I can do, I'll be writing initially details, initial value that what I'll be giving. Now, this dot view name is equal to whatever the view name that we are having, I'm going to get it over there. Now you can see here, when I'm executing my application, by default earlier it was empty, but right now it is filled with basic detail. When user click on preview, is it get changed or not? When user click on offers, it is getting changed. Now we have to render this particular UI. That is our requirement. How we can do that one? For that reason, it's almost all in the HTML, nowhere else. This is call to, that is done. Now I'll take another div, which is accepting the call as going to be 10, because every row should contain 12 columns. So here it is 2 columns are occupied, so that the remaining 10 columns, that what I am using it here. Now how I can do that one? For that, I am using a div, and which contains what it is? Ng switch is equal to, based on what here? View name only, right? Based on view name only, I am giving the view name. Now, first case, div, I'll be here using ng switch case equal to, what is the first value we are having? You see, the first value is going to be details. Then I'll be displaying the details over there. Now we have an error. The property details does not exist in the current context type. Okay, maybe I'll give single quotation also. Syntax, I'm sorry, I forgot to give. Single quotations also has to be given, and a single quotation. Okay, 2 things are required. So single quotation. Now you can see details. Let me give a simple H3 or whatever. Details are displayed here. After that, what is the second one we are having? What is the second one? Preview is available. I'll be giving the preview here, and previews are displayed here. And after that, I'm going to give the third one is going to be, what is the third one we are having? Offers is available, so that I'll select that and I'm giving it over there, and then I'll be giving offers is available. Now this time you see, I have like basic detail. Now am I able to see like only that one or not? Yes or no? If user click on the preview, previews are displayed here. If user click on offers, offers are displayed. When user click on basic detail, preview and offer, and you can right click and go to that inspect, and even in the inspect also you can observe that how it is going to be. Whenever if user has selected something, okay, now you can observe that div 10 is available. Now here, right now, which one is available? Offers only, but remaining you see, we have the details is available and preview is available. Both are not going to be binded to the UI. When user select, let's say preview, now you see the preview div is getting updated. Now we are able to see the preview also. The second one is going to be displayed here. Now when user click on the third one, there you see offers, basic detail, preview, offers. Now you can select even that one, preview, and then we have the offers. Srikanth, like when I click on here, why it is getting changed? Because why it is changed here? When I click on here, is it changed in the drop down or not? Why it is happened? Because we used what? Two-way data binding. Now in the two-way data binding, you see whatever the variable we have used here. Okay, view name, the same variable we are updating here, right? Yes or no? Two-way data binding means what? Once if you modify it in one place, that will be impacted in both the places. That means it is impacted on the component and it is impacted on the template as well. So both the places it get impacted. That is the reason I'm having. Now here, like whatever you guys wants to write, you can write it over there. Now the first one is going to be, I'll be taking some H3. Yesterday's one, H3. Now I'll be using the basic detail so that I can select this one. I am using like this, a simple one. And after that, I'm going to have a simple span class where it contain the background as going to be success that what I can give. And after that, text hyphen white that what I can give. And after that, I am using some rounded paragraph where I can say P2 padding 2. And after that, I am using rounded, and then I'll be giving something like rounded 2 also. And here I'm taking another span tag where I can give the bootstrap, where I can give bootstrap hyphen star hyphen fill is the one. After that, text hyphen white I can say, and where I can give some 4.7 or some rating you can give. That's up to you. And after that, right, after completion of that, let's have another span tag where I'm going to have what? You can give like few properties. Let's say I'll be writing style color as going to be some gray color I can give, and a class equal to I'm using MS4. Now I'll be copying these ratings and save it. Now you can see we have something like this. Okay, Apple 13 or something that we are having. And after that, let's come back here and you can use some margin 3 also. Where this div, it start here, right? Okay. Let's give another div also, and I'm giving the top margin as going to be 3, and I can display some H2 where I can have the price of it. Where I can have the price, nothing apart from that. Maybe if you wanted to add, you can, that's up to you. Now here you can see when user click on basic detail, I'm able to display the basic details of that particular product here. At the same time, when user click on the preview, I have to display that particular image or not. So how I can do that one? For that, here I can use a image tag where I can give src is equal to asset slash image 1.jpg, that what I can give, and I am giving some height and width. Height as going to be 300 and the width as going to be 300, that what I can give. That's it. Now save this once, and now you can come when user click on the preview, I'm able to see the preview also. Okay, and the last one is going to be, we have that offers. If you wanted to add like any offers, you can add it over there. Now you can see like we have different offers are available. So some HDFC bank or whatever, you can take some paragraph. Maybe I can say H4 available offers, that what I can give, and after that I'm going to take a UL, and the class is going to be list hyphen unstyled, because generally list will provide you some styling, that is a numbering format, or else it provides you some square format, or else it provides you some dots. But I don't want to have like all those things, so that is where list unstyled, that what I can give, and then I'm going to have a simple li, and where I can give a class as going to be bootstrap, tag, after that bootstrap hyphen, tag hyphen, fill that what I can give. And here the tag you see, which is there in the green color, so that text hyphen, success that what I can give, that's it. And then copy this one. Okay, copy that everything. This is the one. And the same way, I'll copy the second one also. So bank offer or whatever. Okay, keep it like this. I'll be adding the third one also. That's it. Now you can come back here, basic detail, preview, and we have the offers that are available. If you don't want to get this text to be in the green color, then what you can do is just come back here, and here you can take the span tag, and for that span tag, class equal to text. Otherwise, let's say you can write some style also, color colon black you can give, and then copy the text that what we are having from here. You have the text here, right? You can copy everything and then giving it over here and save it, and then come back here. When it comes to here, am I able to see that in the black or not? Right? So like that it is going to be. This is how we will be working with what? NG switch. Based on the selection you can. If you can go to the preview, or if you can go to the offers or anything. The same assignment I have given yesterday. Okay. But what you need to do? Tell me which one you feel comfortable. NG switch or NG if then else? NG switch. Always switch is good. Compared with if else ladder, switch is good. Same way. But the same thing we can do that in the NG if then else also. That is what the content projection try to implement. If you learn something new, that won't be wasted. That is why try to implement that same example with the help of what? NG if then else. Okay, any questions here? Apart from the bootstrap classes, any questions? Any questions? Anyone, any questions, please? That you can learn. It was done yesterday. Any questions on current session? Sir, when I type command in PowerShell, it's showing an error. 16 version. I want to previous class. I don't have. Div partition is not happen. Even I wrote the same code as. It definitely happened. Some people like they posted something that like, if I use like, the div, it is directly showing me on the left side. It's all because like, the bootstrap is not properly added. If you can add the bootstrap properly, it will work, because I am not paying anything to the bootstrap people to get only that result. Okay, it's open source. It works the way how it is working for me. Even for you also, it works the same way because it's open source. There is nothing change. What is the default color? Black. Why taken double and single quotation? Syntax, Ajay. That's a syntax. We should follow the same syntax. That is what? Syntax, like we can't change it, right? It's all about the syntax. Right. Okay, this is all about that NG switch. And you may try like, the same different examples also. You can do that in the Google. And the next one and very important one is going to be ng for is available. Now, what is mean by ng for and what is the need of that ng for, which is very important even in our real time. Now, what is ng for? It is a directive. It is a directive which is used to repeat the HTML tags or else HTML elements, I can say. ng for is also going to be a directive which will be used. Sir, what all we need to import from Bootstrap? It is a directive which is used to repeat the HTML elements. Okay, repeating the HTML element in the sense, as I told you, generally we get the data from the database and API. We don't have any control on that. We don't have any control on that. Even though they have given, let's say, 2 records or 20 records, it doesn't matter to me. The code that what I am preparing, it should work as it is, right? Yes or no? If I implement some static design and today I am getting, let's say, 20 records, I can do like, by creating 20 table rows and it is working perfectly fine. Suppose, let's say, a simple example, tomorrow I am getting only 2 records. Then again, I have to remove all the 18 or not. That is the problem with static design. Always the designs that we are doing, that should be dynamic. But the UI developers, they can't make it as dynamic. They prepare the static designs only. HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, we can do the static designs only. But how I can make it as dynamic? For that reason only, we will be using what? Angular, React or JavaScript or whatever. Now here, what is an ng for? ng for is a directive, which is a structural directive, which is used to repeat the HTML element. That means if I am getting, let's say, 30 record, then 30 times it will get repeated. If I am getting, let's say, 2 record, 2 times only it will be repeated. If I am getting 2000 record, then 2000 times only it will get repeated. It's all about what we call it as repeating the HTML element. How we can do that? By using ng for that. What I can do? I can say that it is a repeater which will be working based on I hope you guys know about for off. Do you remember for off? I have explained you in the TypeScript. Yes or no? So how the for off will do? I mean, what is the difference between for in and for off? Right. If you wanted to get that index, then we use what? For in. If you wanted to get the value, there you can go with for off, that what we are having. Like that it is going to be. We have 2 things are available, and for in is the one, and then second one is the for off is the another one that we are having. Now, how it is going to be work, like, I'm going to take a simple syntax here. The syntax is going to be, you can take like any tag, but do remember, if you are not giving like, this ng for a particular tag, then it will disturb your whole user interface. Suppose, let's say, I have a table. For the table, we have the table row. For the row, we have the table data. Like that, we have definitely some nested elements are available, right? Clear or not? Nested elements are available. In that case, suppose if you can give the ng for a table, then it will create like, those many tables. If I give it for table row, then it will create those many rows. If I give for table data, then it will give for those many days. I mean, those many tags has to be rendered on the UI, so that it is very particular that which tag you wanted to iterate. That means you wanted to iterate a row, then give it for tr. You wanted to iterate, let's say, a list, then give it for li tag, not for ol. If I am giving, let's say, ol tag, then output will be something different again. Understood? So that is where working with ng for is very easy. But if you are not appending this ng for a particular tag, then it will disturb the whole user interface. That is one thing you should remember while working with this. Apart from that, it's quite simple. I am using ng for is equal to, how to write the for of here? Tell me how to write. Let item of, let's say, the collection that what I can give. Now that collection is going to be, suppose if this collection is having 20 item, then 20 times this div tag is going to be created. If I'm having 30 item, then 30 times it will be. If I'm having one item, then one time only it will. Understand? So that means let item in collection, and here whatever that elements you guys wants to write, you can write it over there. That's up to you. Clear na? Clear or not, everyone? Right? And we will see a simple example on that by creating a new one. Let's go to the component and open with the integrated terminal. And here I am using the command prompt, and I am going to give something like ng c for component. I am using ng for demo hyphen skip hyphen test, that what I can give. Like that it is going to be. Now click on OK. Let's clear the screen. Now you can see I'm going to close others. And here we have ng for demo is available. Let's make it as startup first, so that I'll copy this one and then go to the index.html where I can give that and save it. That is the first. And after that, I'll go to my component class and then use it in the module file. Let's give the module file over there. That's it. Both are done. Now you can see that is working over here. ng for only. Okay, very good. Now, first of all, I'll show you a basic example for today, as we have more 5 minutes only, so that I'll prepare something like this. Public. Okay, public. I'm going to write something like courses, which is a string array, is equal to, I'm going to write, first thing is going to be the TypeScript, and the second thing is going to be JavaScript, I can say, and the third thing is going to be, let's have the Angular, and fourth thing is going to be React.js, I can give. That's it. Now, right now, I'm preparing some static data, but I will show you once if these directives are done, all together we will build an application. That is how I'm planning. We will build like, around 3 to 4 application by combining all these concepts. Okay, today for now, what we have done, components and directives are completed, will be completed maybe tomorrow. And once if it is done, by adding all those things, we'll create one application, one page. And like that we'll do after 4 concept. Now what I'm doing, I have the courses something like that. Generally how I can display that, I'll be having a div where I'm having a class as container, and I'll be taking an unordered list here. I'm having a list, and here we will be having, let's see, courses is the one. Generally this is an array. Array will store the data in the form of what? An index. So that if I'll be giving 0, then what happen? First value, second value, third value, and fourth value. Now you see 1, after that 2, after that 3, and come back here. I'm able to see that output here or not? Yes or no? But suppose, let's say, if I do any modifications over here, I just wanted to write something like Vue.js. I'm writing Vue.js here. Is it getting updated? Now you see, when I come back here, is it updated here? The Vue.js is displayed, but it display only the 4 because the index based, right? So that is where it is displaying only 4, right? Now that means if the source is changed, if I'm changing it in the HTML, that is what tight coupled. That is what static page. Now how I can overcome this one? For that reason, I'm going to apply ng for here. How I can do that? See here, I'm using ng for is equal to let item of Where the data is available? Courses is the data, so that I can give the data here, and then I'll be using an LI, and then I can get that item every time and display it over there. Now you see, if I'm giving, am I able to display it or not? But is it in a proper way? The answer is no, because every element is a list item, right? But you see, I applied the ng for which tag here? UL tag, so that you can rightly and go to that inspect, and you can see how many lists it was created. You can go to that. Each and every item is created as a separate list or not? Yes or no? That is what I told you. Viewing purpose, we don't see like much different. But if somebody has applied like, some CSS property, then it disturb the UI also. That is where what we are going to render with the help of ng for you should be very much clear. Now the same thing, you see, I'll be copying this total, and then if I apply for li tag, now you can see, if I apply for li tag and save it, and then you can see here, is it created multiple list? No, it was created a single list. You can right click and go to that inspect. You see there, how many lists are available? How many lists here? One list only, and each and every element is the list item that what we are having here. Understood? Yes or no? Suppose let's say if my source is changed, I'm going to add another one also here. Maybe I'll be writing MS Azure, that what I can give, and save it and then come back here. Is it automatically appended or not? So this is the advantage with ngFor, but I'll take, few more examples on this ngFor in tomorrow's session. Because ngFor, like, which is very important, I'll take, let's say, some table, I'll take some bootstrap icon, different possibilities I'll take and prepare the good example, and then we'll see like all together in one simple application. Okay, any questions you have on this one? Any questions for anyone? Whatever I'm explaining, everything is used mostly in real time. So please see online questions. We used mostly like, both. What question you asked? On switch you asked, Anupam. But you asked like in not in between the session, right? Where it is. Okay, ask that question quickly first. Okay, I'll upload the notes. If you have anything, we'll talk tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day.
Recording stopped.